Good Sunday afternoon. This is your Loudoun County weather outlook. I'm going to go through what will be kind of a stormy period tomorrow, and we'll just see how much rain and the way the forecast is shaping up. Again, this is a model output. It doesn't necessarily mean the way things are going to pan out or whatever. But right now, it looks like the best dynamics for the worst types of severe will be just south of us. But we definitely have a wind threat and hail threat from tomorrow's storm. And yes, an isolated tornado threat is possible. But that threat becomes a little more real, or risk, I should say. A threat is a little scary, but risk becomes a little more real south of us as the atmosphere is a little more poised for that type of setup. So anyway, let's go back to today. As we are now, it is very warm. Now, the reason why this shows 9 a.m., that's just when the model starts. Don't do that. And you got to admit, I mean, today it's up near 80 degrees. Here's later in the day after 3 or 4 p.m. Are there any showers or storms possible here? Today around 5 p.m. I'm not sure. I'm going to look at radar now to see if there's anything going on. But right now, it doesn't. I'm not sure if this is going to come true or not. We'll have to check. It is warm. It is humid out there. You definitely can tell it. And boy, the bees are out looking for places to do things, set up their nests. And birds are out building nests, I saw. So it's definitely spring-like, and all the flowers have finally really, truly popped open. And so is the pollen. So here we go. Now we're going overnight, and now tomorrow we're looking as the day comes on. A few scattered showers. If we get any showers earlier in the day, this will kind of steal some of the thunder or the more severe storm possibilities. But we'll have to see if this comes about. It's the first little round of showers, and that's around 4 to 6 p.m. And then here comes the bigger front. This does show some dynamics. I mean, these little you see them kind of lining up in a row like here. You see this? This is showing that it's got, some energy to it. So I have to see if that brings about. Most likely, like I said, it will be wind, not severe, not tornadoes or anything like that. What you're looking for earlier in the day is if we get these isolated storms, like down south or whatever, isolated storms, even those ones that were early, are the ones that are most likely to have some spin in them, and that would be a little more concerning. So something like this. You see how it's got that little red little drawing circle in there and stuff. Those things are where you would see potential spinning in storms, and that's something that they're going to need to watch for potential severe and even tornadic storms. But again, that looks more likely south of us. So it comes on through here by tomorrow evening. It's going to be another line, around 9 p.m. and then it comes through. I was really hoping for a lot more rain, but honestly, total keep precipitation here, if we look at the entire period, it's just not that much. I mean, if we get a thunderstorm, maybe we'll get an inch. I mean, that's not bad, or more. So we do need the thunderstorms to wring the most water out of this, but at least a half an inch to an inch could possibly happen from these storms when they come through tomorrow night. We can definitely hope that that happens. And then after that, I'm not sure about later in the week, but there is a better chance of some more rain. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. Let's look what the severe weather outlook is. So here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook for the region. You can see we're in a slight risk. This is kind of the overall risk assessment. Enhanced risk to our south. And that is alarming because you're going to see that part of that risk is tornadic, for tornadoes. But anyway, we see here that we have that tornado risk. Mainly southwest. We have a 2%, maybe up to a 5%, pretty close. The 10% risk is further south. So I suspect, tornado watches to be issued south of us tomorrow. It's possible to reach up here, but right now it's going to really be a stretch to get that type of severity in this region. There is a hail risk, not a huge one, and the wind would be the most likely risk, about a 15% chance of us, but a pretty strong south here, 30% chance of some strong to severe weather winds for us. So that's going to be the thing we're going to need to watch, and so I'll be on the lookout throughout the day. But remember, you need to plug into your alert systems. That's like your weather radios, if you have them. Make sure your phones are enabled for warnings and things of that nature, for sure. So what's going on nationwide here? We have the strong southerly winds today, which is both keeping us cloudy because it's a pretty moist flow, as well as, like I said, maybe a chance of a shower later today. We'll have to see. But we're warm, and the pollen is popping, everything else. So here's the front coming through tomorrow. You see how it's not quite as potent as it gets to our region. West-east storms are not always the best for us, but it doesn't mean that they don't pop. And the individual cells are moving southwest and northeast, so that tends to help. This is a pretty gold little shot here on the backside. So it's going to be breezy and chillier on Tuesday with 50s, but you can see this other strong storm. I mean, this has been the repeat pattern of this spring. really strong storms coming out of Colorado area. The Four Corners area is what we call it, in that region, with really strong southerly winds. Unfortunately, this region's been extremely dry, so this is another serious fire threat for them. We've also not been super wet, so we have had fire threats. This high pressure does not look ideal for us to be super warm as we go into Wednesday. I think now it's still calling for okay warm temperatures, but that does have that backdoor cold front kind of look to it. So don't be surprised if it's a little chillier. I know it's chillier on Tuesday, but not as warm maybe as originally the models looked like earlier for this. This high is really beating down and trying to keep the easterly winds and the cooler weather around. So, but to see what the highs are forecast there. Eventually, it does win out that the warmer air gets in here. We get southerly winds, so we'll warm up by the end of the week. And then again, this front is going to try to make its way eastward, but really having a hard time and struggling to get through with moisture, which is bad news. Yes, we have chances of showers as we head later in the week. I mean, this is by Friday and Saturday now, but not widespread rain like we really need in order to really dent the drought. And nothing looks like it's denting it. Everything that's trying to head this way gets either shunted to the north, and then we just get the leftovers, or it's just scattered showers and thunderstorms, which you have to get them in your backyard in order for you to really get some good stuff. So anyway, this comes through another little cold shot. I mean, this very repetitive kind of pattern. We finally get some rain, and then after you get a really strong. This is a really strong cold shot. I don't know if this will be real or not, but this is early the following week, so this is over a week away. We'll have to see. I mean, the pattern has been repetitive in this pattern, this setup, so it's possible. And that's really chilly as we kind of go through that first, full week of April. Then, the following week, it looks a little more cool and not the best trajectory for strong low pressure or good rain or anything. So that's very worrisome. For the outlook. I mean, look at this QPF for that area, for that time period. Sorry, QPF, that's a precipitation forecast. For us, 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches on the northern part. So this is over a 15-day period. So that's the best we're going to do with rain. We need more than that. This looks okay. I'm not saying it looks terrible, but not as much as what we need, and we're not far away from being too dry. So not happy with that outlook at all. And the last thing we're going to look at is the temperature. So yeah, today we're doing really, really well with way above normal temperatures. This temperature gets squashed on Tuesday as that front comes through and chills us down. Not super cold, but definitely below normal. And here's the cold air damming. Remember that cold air kind of east of the mountains setting up? As that high to the north, that's what we're seeing. So that's what you're seeing in the middle and late part of next week, is it's keeping us cool. Finally, it breaks through and warms us up towards next weekend, and that's a really good warm-up. So that's Thursday it warms up. That same day it's going to turn us around. So we're going to go from cooler quickly to above normal within a day or so. Then we kind of get stuck right here on the border between the cooler and warmer air, fighting it back and forth, and eventually the cool air is trying to win out more than the warm air. So we go from above normal pattern to, look at this. This is that chill. Remember I said this is a really cold shot, if it's true, that first full week of April. We'll have to see if this comes true, because that's crazy cold for that time period. I don't know if that's true or not, but for us for this time of year, that's definitely going to give us some frosty, freezing nights. So if you're thinking about planting early, you got to wait. We're really way too early now for planting stuff outside. And that stays cool, like I said, all the way through that period until way late in the. Now, there's a huge warm up in the middle part of the country, so maybe that will actually come in. But even so, when you get winds out of this direction now, what you're seeing is where the fronts are lining up. When you get winds from the northwest, it's over all this landmass. It's all dry, so we're not getting good moisture feeds here in our region. That's why we're having such a hard time. So if you're wondering about the drought, yeah, the drought's bad. Here's the temperature in the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. And here's the moisture. It does show above normal, so we are seeing more chances of rain than we would have normal. But this was as of yesterday's forecast, which actually did look wetter than today. So we'll have to see if it gets revised. Then the super long period, yeah, here's that cold chill that you saw in the forecast models. But it's also going to be dry. I mean, this is a dry pattern with these northwest winds off the continent. That does not bode well for rain, and we really need rain. All right, so I've been a long outlook, but I haven't done it for a few days, so I thought I'd share. Bring your Loudoun County weather outlook. Hope you have a good Sunday and a good week.